Hey, soul survivors, we're going to talk about is it love or an obsession? So it should be obvious that there are basic differences between being in love and being obsessed. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Many people will find themselves in these relationships that they feel are loving when in fact they're actually an obsession. So we're going to talk about that today. Even when these people are faced with the facts, they often refuse to admit that they're more obsessed than in love. So this is something we can self-reflect on ourselves or our person. So in fact, we may be one of these people who is obsessed instead of love. And if we haven't gone completely round the bend following some of these um, signs that you might be more obsessed than in love. So if you are flaking on your responsibility because you have a chance of running into the person we're obsessed with, it might include things like missing work, school, other important appointments, just because they said they might call you. So I know if you're dealing with a narcissist, there's a lot of that future faking, and we're missing out on our lives. So we have to make sure that the person we're with loves us. And we also have to make sure that we didn't go into obsession mode. A lot of times with that Stockholm syndrome, that can happen with the CPTSD and the brain fog. So there's, they say they might call us, or this off chance if we stay in a certain location long enough, maybe they'll come. So when you miss commitments because of your obsession, you're only going to be sorry later in life. And when you miss out on things that you love doing just so that you can be available in case they decide they have time to call you or may want to see you, what you're actually doing is putting your life on hold for another person. And it's important for us to live our lives. We've already missed out on so much of it. Now, it might be fine if you're in a serious relationship or if you're married, but when this person has done nothing to show you what you mean to them, that you mean a lot to them, it makes no sense for us to rearrange our life for them. And we're only missing out on a lot of fun things that we are meant to do or could do. Our friendships will start taking a back seat to our obsession. When we're obsessed with somebody, um, or the one that you want to date, you tend to ignore your friends in favor of being available for this person. And it's also important not to be too available for someone, even when they haven't called or made plans with you. So it gets confusing because the narcissist loves to do that future faking. So we're putting our lives on hold a lot for them. And, they totally start taking advantage of it more, and we're missing out on our lives more and more and more. Eventually, you'll start driving your friends away, and that's because um, they feel that, we don't care about them much anymore. So if you notice any of these signs within yourself, take note of how far you've fallen down this rabbit hole, because it'll just suck you in more. You're not meant to stop living your life just in case somebody decides to give you a call or suddenly show up. And, if they respect you, they'll make plans with you and they'll keep them. If something comes up, you can be flexible, but be careful if you're dealing with a narcissist, because they'll give you a bunch of lies and you're missing out on your life for somebody who doesn't return that favor. Narcissists will often get angry at you if you do that to them. Pay attention to how people react to you if you need some grace. If it's necessary for you always to be available on the off chance that this person's going to call or come by, and it's imperative that we get some help in overcoming the obsession, because we're missing out on our lives and it's ruining our lives. So it's important to do everything possible to move past this obsession, involve ourselves in a healthy relationship with somebody that wants to be with you. And, in the beginning, it gets quite confusing because it seems like the narcissist wants to be with us, but over time it starts becoming uh, apparent that, that we're just starting to be used. And it's hard to accept that sometimes, but we have to really look at the relationship as a whole. Is it bringing us more joy or sadness? And are we doing the things that we want to do? Are we starting to miss out on our friendships? And that's why it's good to have a good balance between your relationship and also relationships with others. So I hope that was helpful. You're meant to have a beautiful relationship. Start by having a beautiful relationship with yourself. Love yourself first, and it falls into place. Knowledge is healing. I'll see you soon.